here we are on the west coast of Vancouver Island. The next stop out there is Japan, which is where this vehicle is from, the 2014 Subaru Forester. And they've redone it with a lot of nice touches for 2014. They have two models, the regular 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine and this new turbocharged engine that has direct injection, twin-scroll turbo, a brand new transmission, and is a much improved Forester than we've ever had before. To look at the new Forester, you could be forgiven for thinking that much of the previous model is carried over. Not true. This 2014 has less than 5% of the parts from the 2013 model. Yet the smallest changes can make a world of difference. For example, the windshield is being moved forward, allowing the front doors to be wider than the last product. This allows more window space, a less intrusive side mirror, and easier entry into the cabin. The rocker panels are now integrated into the door frames, keeping the dirt kicked up from the road on the door. So when the door is open, the bottom of the opening remains nice and clean. The rear doors are larger too, and they open to almost 90 degrees. New for 2014 is an available power liftgate, starting at just over $31,000 on the Touring model. Now, before we get going here, we want to talk about the inside of the new Forester, and it is a massive improvement over the 2013 model. The previous Forester had a very simple dash that was really a bit ugly, and they've addressed it nicely. First of all, they've been able to move the dashboard forward, makes the cabin feel open and airy. The materials on the dash are soft touch on the upper panels, the touch point soft touch materials as well. The tops of the doors here are still hard plastic, but that's not uncommon in the compact SUV category. Now, base model gets Bluetooth. It also gets heated seats, and if you go one up from the base model, you get the backup camera that's in the heads-up display here in the center console. That's all great stuff. Starting price is just still under $26,000. There's two models to choose from in the Forester. You can get the normally aspirated model, or you can get the turbo. Right now, I'm in the normally aspirated model, and I've had a chance to drive not only the continuously variable unit, but this is the 6-speed manual. That's one of the nice things that Subaru has done, is they've stuck with a manual transmission. One of a few companies that actually does this. So the packaging is very good of this vehicle. Easy to get in and out of, a nice size. The cargo space around the back is big and easy to get things in and out of. You sit up higher now. They've moved the seat up by 30 millimeters, roughly 3 centimeters, and it gives you a commanding view of the road. But it's not so high that taller people, I'm 6 feet tall, are going to touch the roof. That's not the case at all. The car is definitely quieter. You can tell right away when you drive this new 2014 Forester that it's noticeably quieter. We've got a more rigid structure, better sound insulation, and that is good because a horizontally opposed or box or engine can make this sort of thrumping noise when you drive it, and they've diminished that as much as they can. Okay, when you get in the turbo, there's some things that really bubble to the surface right away. First of all, different spring rates in this vehicle, so it feels more planted and performance-oriented than the regular, normally aspirated model. The suspension feels sportier, and the engine does a fabulous job. In addition, the continuously variable transmission has different settings. It's got Sport, which gives you 6 preset ratios in the continuously variable transmission. Then you hit Sport Sharp, and it goes to 8 preset ratios. Now, this sounds kind of silly to have paddle shifters and preset gear ratios in a continuously variable transmission, but I'm here to tell you, as I said off the beginning, this is the best application of a continuously variable transmission that I've driven. These preset gear ratios really work. It's almost instantaneous for the gear selector, and it really develops a sporty transmission even though it ekes out great efficiency. So this vehicle is the one that I would get because it's got more power, it's got more versatility when it comes to the transmissions, and it feels a little bit more planted. And driving through the mountain passes here on the way to Long Beach and Tofino, this vehicle, you can stick it well into the corners, and it really is unflappable. The suspension does a great job, and the turbocharger just gives you that kick of power whenever you need it. I'm really impressed with this motor. For buyers who need light off-road or winter driving duties, which is most Canadians, all models come with the new X-Drive all-wheel drive setting for low-speed traction. This system uses sensors and splits the torque to individual wheels, allowing the Forester to perform well in very slippery conditions. Having a chance to drive up a slippery grade or when placing half of the wheels on the rollers, the computer senses slippage and stops the wheels from spinning, then sends power to the wheels that have grip for a quicker exit. Attention has also been paid to ground clearance and entry and departure angles on the bumpers. Even when driving over bumpy gravel roads, the ride remains compliant and never harsh. Subaru kind of takes the path less traveled. Sure, it's a traditional compact crossover shape, but this vehicle has a lot of things that are different from the competition. First and foremost, a continuously variable transmission in a compact crossover. There's only a few of those available, but the execution on this one is better than in the past because it's quieter than it has been before, and now has the turbocharged engine that produces a ton of power, 250 horsepower, and with that new high torque continuously variable transmission, it really gets the power down with no sacrifice. Also, the packaging in this vehicle, the interior is definitely much better than we've ever seen before. It's easy to get in and out of for all passengers, and the cargo space is very usable. There's a lot of competition in the compact crossover segment. CR-V from Honda, RAV4 is brand new from Toyota, but this vehicle comes to market with standard all-wheel drive, roughly around the same price that the others charge just for their front-wheel drive. And that's the biggest selling for Subaru, and it'll continue to be with this Forester.